everyone. Welcome and thank you for dialing in our webinar today. I, Smriti Bharadwaj, Senior Editor at PharmaShots, welcomes you all to a webinar on global market research strategies for the healthcare industries. I will be a host for this insightful session, and we have a packed agenda with a lot of valuable information, strategies, case studies, and a lot more. So to provide you with the most comprehensive insights, we have gathered here a panel of distinguished experts who are leaders in their respective fields. So allow me to introduce Utsav Chaurasia, Associate Director, Market Research at Octavus Consulting, and Himanshu Sehgal, Director, Octavus Consulting. Hi Utsav, welcome, and Himanshu also. So how are you both doing today?
So thank you, Smriti. It is a lovely day, and thank you for organizing this webinar. It's really a pleasure, and it's something unique. Why? Because people usually don't talk about a very important thing in healthcare industry, which is market research. So thank you for organizing this, and thank you for inviting us. Utsav, can we start with your introduction, please?
Thanks again. Thanks from my side, Smriti, for organizing this webinar. Let me give you a quick brief about myself. My name is Utsav. I'm an Associate Director at Octavus. I'm handling all the market research studies here. With decade of dedicated experience in healthcare market research and successfully spearheaded and contributed to over 1,500 projects globally. I have built up upon core competency in market research management and redefined my skill in board of array of market research methodologies, including the predictive modeling, trade-off analysis, and segmentation. My expertise spans several including brand health, choice process, and new product repositioning research. Each of these projects and experience have been a new learning experience for me and added value to my core area and personality, also in a work nature. Working in a collaboration nature with the team across the continent, I have witnessed firsthand the dynamics and interconnected nature of the healthcare industry on the global scale. Thanks again for inviting me for this webinar, Smriti.
Thank you, Utsav. Thank you for the introduction. It's a pleasure to have you here today. So we believe in creating an interactive learning environment, and participation is highly encouraged. So I request all the attendees to participate in the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. And in the middle also, we will launch in polls to engage you all. And feel free to submit your questions to the chat box. So let's begin this amazing session. I request Utsav and Himanshu to begin with the session.
Smriti, I think you forgot I have not introduced myself.
Okay, you haven't. I thought you introduced
No, no,
yourself.
no. So, okay, talking about my experience, I carry with myself 15 plus years of experience. I have worked with organizations like Novartis, PwC Intelligence Team. I have worked with Prescient Healthcare Group. So my core competencies lies within competitive intelligence and market research. My core experience altogether has been into healthcare pharma. I have spearheaded multiple teams across my career. I've worked in the area of biosimilars, cardiovascular, renal franchise. I've had the renal franchise while I was with Novartis. Apart from that, I have worked on various strategy projects while I was with PwC Intelligence. So cross domains, across therapy areas, I have experience. And I find market research a very fascinating area and one of the most important, I would say, an underdog basically, which usually is not talked about, is not, boasted about, but it is one of the most crucial and important aspect of any product launch. So I'll take a pause here, and I think let's start with the webinar now.
Thank you, Himanshu, for the introduction. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, indeed it is. Okay. So, so our agenda for the today is going to be, we have divided the agenda in 4 points. first, Utsav is going to talk about what market research is. Then we are going to talk about what primary market research, and then its application, its role into the healthcare, industry, and the role market research plays in healthcare industry. Then in the middle, as Utsav has already said, and Smriti has also said this, that we are going to have quick polls to interact with you all, to give you a quick bites of information. So there are going to be polls as well. And then me and Utsav are going to talk about close to 6, 7, 8 case studies, a very peculiar, new, unique case studies which we have worked on. I mean, as a team, as a company, Octavus has worked on these. We have many other. It was really difficult actually to select these 7, 8 case studies, but yeah, we have tried to do justice and we have tried to include. So it's going to be an action-packed kind of a session. And yeah, let's begin. Smriti, can we change the slide?
So,
Over to you, sir.
okay, thank you so much, Himanshu. So here we are talking about the market research. So before we start, let's talk about what is the market research. So market research is actually the process to evaluating the visibility of new services or products throughout the research conducted directly to the potential customer. In market research also allow the company to identify its target market to and get opinion and other feedback directly from their consumer about their interest in their services and products. So in market research, we divided it in two parts. First is the primary research and second is the secondary research. So in primary research, we are gathering the data from directly from the consumers. And in secondary, we are using secondary source of like online sources, literatures, other clinical trial database, and other social media analytics. So this is the two part. And also for in primary research, we are conducting different type of the methodologies. Like we can go for a qualitative survey where we're going to do online, offline surveys, observational studies. We also conduct the focus groups, in-depth interviews where we conduct in-depth one-to-one in-depth interviews with the respondents. Also, sometimes we cover these things from a social media listening and also and case studies. Niti, can you please change the slides?
Yes.
So here we are talking about the process of market research. So market research is process is divided in five steps. In first step, we are trying to understand the client requirement to design the study as per the client needs. Secondly, we go for the target selection. We speak firstly we understand the client needs, whether they want to do the product or services are related to HCPs, patients, or other kind of the paramedical staff related products. So if the client is required, client services or product are related to HCP, we are trying to target HCPs. What kind of the HCPs are fit to this type of the related to projects. So in that process, we are targeting the target audience. Then in third step, we are going to recruitment process, where we design the screening questionnaires to shortlist the respondent who are totally fit with the client's requirement and client's requirement studies. Then we go to conduct a data collection. In that data collection, we'll be doing qualitative data collection and quantitative data collection. It totally depends on the project needs. And also, since Octavus has their own in-house moderators, interviewer, and also the recruiter, so we usually do these things in-house only. The fourth part is the quality control. So after gathering that data, we also ensure the quality of data to be perfect. So Octavus also has an in-house QC team who maintain the quality and ensure the quality of data. To To ensure this quality of data, we usually follow three type of the process. First is the telephonically back check. Second is personally back check, and also we are tracking unique ID, whether we are tracking the IP addresses of devices, so that we can ensure that respondent are not repeated. And fifth is the analysis and reporting. Himanshu, you are in mute.
Sorry. So yeah. Overall, I mean, I'll talk about, I'll obviously talk about reporting and analysis as well. But overall, Octavus is an end-to-end service provider, and we also work as, how would I say, a la carte as well. So, you know, if a team comes to us and they say that we just want to do a recruitment, we'll do that recruitment. We help certain teams with the, you know, with the study designing, questionnaire designing part, and then obviously reporting and analysis. So when we talk about reporting and analysis, uh, content analysis is one, then social media listening is something else, then you know, top line reporting. So when we talk about top line reporting, it's actually meant for the key opinion leaders. So when you know, we have certain key intelligence questions, so when we answer them, and just specifically answering those questions, it's going to talk about that kind of a reporting is a top line reporting. So we do that as well. So yeah, our as I said, we are an end-to-end service provider, and we work at you know, at different points also, and we support different teams. If a market research firm, our partners come to us and they want just the analysis part, we do that. Recruitment, we do that, and so on and so forth. So moving on.
And also, I want to add one more thing. In profile, we also doing the profiling, where we are creating the shortlisting the doctors and respondent to participate on certain kind of a webinar or conferences. So we can also provide those kind of the profiles to arrange webinar and conferences.
Yeah, so we can do that, and for that we have a different tool as well. We are building an in-house tool. This is probably not the right platform. Well, I'm talking about everyone. This is probably not the right platform. The reason is we are talking today. We are here for
Talking
the
about that.
primary market research, but soon we plan to work again with PharmaShots team to organize another webinar for our secondary research services. So yeah, then at that point of time, we are going to talk about that platform as well. So moving on, thank you, Utsav, for reminding that. And moving on.
So here,
yeah,
here we are talking about the primary market research. Primary market research has a two part where we are collecting. This is the process of collecting data. In this process, we divided in a two part. First is the qualitative studies, and second is the quantitative study. In qualitative study, we are gathering data in a broader way by discussing. We do face-to-face in-depth interviews with the respondent, or sometimes we conduct FGDs. Sometimes we are also doing the centered location tests where we are invite the respondent and gather their experience about the product, showcasing the new services, and taking their feedback on that. In in-depth interviews, we usually conduct these studies with HCPs, patients, and other type of the consumers. On focus group, we also inviting people where pair of people like 3 to 6, 6 to 8 respondent to gather their respondent on a particular subject or brand product. In qualitative, we are following three type of the methodologies to collect the data. First is the very standard practice was a pen and paper interviews, which was earlier used. Now things are turning into digital. We are in a digital phase, so we usually follow the CAVI and CATI process. In CAVI, we use computer aided, where we're using tablets and computer to collect the data. We are generating the link and send it to the our panel respondent on gathering data from through that. And also we are doing face-to-face quantified data collection to use tablets and other devices. In CATI, we also do a telephonic data collection while using the survey links. We were communicating responded on telephone and fill up the data on a link.
Okay, I would like to add here, in both in both qualitative and quantitative, again, we go through a robust quality check and, we follow a stricter screening criteria, what is been defined by the client. So at these both type of, assessments or, studies basically, our methodology remains the same in terms of, following the guidelines, following the stricter rules, the terms, and everything. So yeah, let's move on, Smriti.
Himanshu, one more thing I just want to add. For a recruitment purpose, our QC team also ensure the recruited respondent is the right profile. So what we do after screening the respondent, our QC team also following the same screening question with the respondent to check whether the respondent is the right profile or fit in our requirement profile or not. So this also ensure the quality of respondent, which help us to give us a quality data to deliver the quality data to our clients.
Exactly. Quality control is the key to, key to great insights actually. So yeah, I think we should move forward.
So here we are talking about the step-by-step of primary research. So first is the surveys. Surveys are usually earlier days it was conducted usually on pen on paper. Nowadays, since the digitalization is everywhere, so we are using survey links or survey apps to collect the data. So we have our in-house team who are conducting surveys face to face. Also, we are using our panel to collect data broadly and globally. Second is a focus group. Focus group is is especially where we invite HCPs or panel members to participate in that, where the 3 to 6 people are in are involved in the study and give their feedback on a specific subject. This discussion is under guidance with a moderator, and also we also has our in-house moderator who has wide experience in healthcare. Third is in-depth interviews. In-depth interviews is especially 101 interviews, which we are doing face-to-face by at the hospitals or doctors' places, also on online. So we are following both way, online, offline, and where we are collecting with the doctors, respondents, and get their data 101. And the standard duration of these kind of in-depth interviews are 45 minutes to 60 minutes. And for focus groups, we usually it's a 60 minutes to 90-minute duration for the focus group. Another thing is a social media listening. We are also tracking the social media where we are collecting data for social media polls, and also by doing some kind of the polling observation from social media. Just like if you are trying to understand about some kind of XYZ brand, like a wearable brand, like any kind of the smartwatches, which is related into healthcare tracking. So we can conduct a surveys online to understand the consumer insights about the products. And fourth is the observational research or ethnography. Ethnography is a very important methodology in primary research, where our experts visit to certain place, like if studies related to HCP, where our ethnography expert visit to doctor's clinic or hospital to observe the total the working behavior of doctor, how the patient how the doctors are attending the patient, what kind of the challenges they are facing. So this is standard duration of ethnography is up to 2 to 6 hours, where we are collect overall, we observe overall working behavior of HCPs or patient. It totally depends on the project requirement, and make our reports as per the observation.
Can let me just add one thing here is, some people might say or maybe thinking that social media listening probably is a secondary research. So just to add here is that social media listening actually is a secondary research tool or process, but there are, as Utsav has rightly said, that we track patient feedback on social media, like, people leaving their comments on various platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, on the product pages. So that's one. Second thing could be YouTube videos of various webinars, seminars which are being posted related to those products. So those kind of things, because it's kind of an in a transaction between or transition between secondary and primary. You're getting that information directly from the patient, so or directly from the source basically. So hence we have included this also as a primary research tool basically.
Also, those
uh,
respondents are usually very unique respondent who are expressing their views about the products. It's help us to understand what they really think about that thing. Or the respondent could be anywhere from the globe. It and yeah, it's a very useful tool to understand consumer behavior.
okay, moving on.
Okay, so audience, we have an engagement activity here. So it's the poll. Himanshu, can you read out the poll once?
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. In the realm, sorry, what happened? Smriti, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the realm of healthcare market research, which source do you find most valuable for gathering primary data? Is it surveys or questionnaires? Is it in-depth interview and focus group, or is it observational studies or ethnography? So I think Smriti can launch the poll. Let's see
Yes.
what people think about.
Okay, so poll is visible on your screen. So you have 30 seconds to answer the poll. I request all the attendees to participate in the poll.
Unfortunately, people, panelists cannot vote. I would have voted.
This
Please
is
do
the
vote.
question this is the question from your sides, and now attendees need to vote.
So guys, please vote. Let's see what you think.
I think focus group and interviews has most number of votes, and second votes have for surveys and questionnaires. So what do you think? Focus group do not have
Uh,
any.
Smriti, I think there is an error.
There's
You
an
have
error.
you have given two options of focus group and interviews. So I think the second one, you can people can pull in as the observational study and ethnography. Let's
Yeah,
see that.
might be. Okay, so it's time to end the poll. Thank you, audience, for the engagement.
Can we see the results, or will we be seeing the results later?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, moving on. Now let's talk about healthcare and pharmaceutical or healthcare market research. So again, as during my introduction, I said that market research is the underdog of the whole commercial process, and so I can tell you that it is used across the domain. It is, as I said, it is one of the most important tool. Let's talk about discovery, identifying the patient population. I have a drug. I don't know which area it could go in. I need to identify the patient population. Market research can help me. I already have a product, it is launched, and after that I want to do a monitoring of my product. Market research is a tool. There is a risk, there is a risk involved into it. Adverse event tracking basically, risk mitigation and risk assessment. For both of the things, market research is the tool. Benchmarking study. I have been involved in a lot of benchmarking studies during my experiences previously also and now here also. Benchmarking studies are usually part of the competitive analysis. We have identified competitors. We have using the market research. But now, what is so good about those those competitors? Either they are launched or not. But what is so good about that? What's the perception in the eyes of the HCPs or the patients or staff members? What are their key insights basically? So benchmarking studies usually help us do that.
And also, yeah, please,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, yeah. So apart from that, overall, if I talk about, in terms of role of market research, it helps you create a go-to-market strategy for, go-to-market strategy. So overall strategy planning is the key role or is the key outcome of of this market research. It gives you insights. It tells you what exactly is happening in the market. We might be living in our bubble and thinking that, okay, we are creating a one unique product, but market research is a tool which gives us that reality check. It tells pharma companies that what exactly is happening, what are their unmet needs. I'll not be able to tell you about the product or the company for whom we work, but there was a product company was planning to launch in 3 years down the line. It was a phase 2 end product, and they did a market research, and it was an eye opener for all of us. The biggest unmet need from that market research was that there was no diagnostic tool. People did not knew much about that disorder. It was a little rare disorder, but again, even HCPs were not really aware of it. It gave us a good eye opener. It helped my client also to strategize about it. So they, came up with a companion diagnostic along to be launched along with the product, and worked on it, and so on and so forth. So, again, this was just one example to give you an idea what role market research plays, primary market research plays in the overall healthcare strategy.
And I
Uh,
want to add one more thing, Himanshu. In
yes.
benchmarking, we can also add the mystery shopping. The mystery shoppers are very, mystery shopping is a very important tool for the improving the services and plan the new strategy for their businesses. So
So
yes,
yes, Utsav, you're right. So it was kind of a surprise. Actually, you seen that I put in a star mark on benchmarking study because I've
yes.
been involved in a lot of them. So yeah, it is kind of what I know more. But yes,
Mhm.
I think actually we have also included a case study which is talking about the mystery shopping. So
Yes,
let's
yes, yes.
go to the end of when we go to the end, we'll talk about that case study as well.
Definitely,
So Smriti,
definitely.
moving on. Okay, so don't take this slide to the value of this slide. These are the recent trends which we have seen, in terms of present market research, and the projects, kind of projects we are getting and all those kind of things. It does not say that this is only something which is happening or this is only applicable to these areas only. So please, these are just our observation. Now talking about recent trends, AI driven, we all are talking about Chat GPT. So Chat GPT has
Yes.
become a talk of a town. But in healthcare, drug discovery, AI driven, predictive analysis, analytics, AI driven, and again, market research also plays a role there as well. Epidemic prediction. When I say epidemic prediction, there are a lot of studies we did during COVID times, and so yeah, those kind of predictions. Those studies helped us to do the predictions basically. What are the problems? We all have seen that. During the COVID was one of the great examples, and I think these
Yes.
trends are coming out of this COVID era only. Telemedicine, picked up. The market boosted like anything in terms of um, uh, doctor virtually assessing patients from home via mobile app. So again, market research plays a great role everywhere. We help collect data. We help do the global outreach. We have done real-time patient insight studies basically, which helped a lot of telemedicine companies. We have a case study for that as well. We have now talking about digital health, remote monitoring device. We have a case study for that as well. We have worked there. Remote clinical trials. Remote clinical trials or decentralized clinical trials is another area which has being picked up with both the hands from the industry, from the pharma and healthcare industry. And market research plays a role there as well, because again, patient insights that decentralized patient trials are happening, but what are their unmet needs? Again, I'm using this word again and again. What are their unmet needs? What they want from these companies? Whether the what are the smaller nuances basically? So we get that data, and market research team gets that data for the overall audience.
And also, Himanshu, virtual healthcare is also helps for initial patient reports like their MRI, their CT scan.
Exactly.
Doctor can easily access those things directly,
Yeah.
virtually.
Yeah, and then talking about those devices. So when we talk about those devices, those virtual, portable MRIs, portable
Yes.
CT, and sonograms and all that. So again, getting the feedback is what we do. Getting the surveys done is what we
Yes.
do. So moving on, I think we are 30 minutes past our webinar starting. We need to start being fast, and we are going to discuss our case study, so we need to be a little fast. So let me just very quickly talk about code of conducts and ethics. So again, it's one of the most crucial part of any study. I have seen unethical practices also. I have seen a lot of things, but we as a company, we try to follow all what we can. We have secure servers for data. We retain the data. We have retention policies. So we keep the data of any studies for X number of years or a time period. What our deal with the study provider is. Then we do consent. Consent is one of the most important one. uh, you know, I just go and talk to a patient, take his feedback, and just fill it in a form. It is not how it is done. We collect all the consents, not just patient, HCPs, procurements, staff members, and so forth. So
Those consents also are physical and also video recorded sometimes. It totally
yes,
depends
yes,
on
yes.
the requirements.
As a market research, as a global market research, upcoming leader, I would say, we also follow GDPR guidelines. We strictly follow our GDPR guidelines, and not just GDPR. Apart from that, there are code requirements from various countries. So every country has their own, legal nuances.
Legally, yes.
So we follow those as well. So I think more or less I've covered everything. We do anonymizing of the data. We do non-disclosure agreements and so on and so forth. So I think
Apart
please.
from this, Himanshu, Octavus are also following market research code of conduct to ensure the identity. We do not share respondent identity with the clients. Neither we usually do a double-blinded studies, whether we are not disclosing clients' information with the respondent, neither respondent information with the clients. So we also ensure that.
Yeah, that's yes, another important factor. Okay, moving, I think we should move on. Shruti. Okay, now talking about major therapy areas, I'll not take much time here. Quickly, oncology is one of the major one for us. We have been doing a lot of studies there.
We are
Um,
doing frequently actually.
yeah, it's more frequent than ever. Then apart from that, in second most, if I'm not wrong, it's neurology.
Yeah.
Uh, Comparable to it, it is dermatology also where we are doing. Respiratory have recently started to pick up, I say post-COVID. Uh, uh, and then
And
gastro.
gastroenterology also,
Yes, yes,
Himanshu,
yes.
I must say.
Yeah, yeah. So gastroenterology and immunology are some of the main ones. We have done study across therapy areas, but these are some of the prominent ones. But apart from therapy areas, we have touched upon, not touched upon, we have done a lot of study on medical devices. Uh, we have done few good studies in animal health. These have been mostly APAC studies. Animal health studies have been mostly APAC, but yes, we have the capability for doing that. Health
Since
technology study.
if
Health,
you talk, Himanshu, last 2 years, the animal health studies are increasing, I must say.
yeah, pet care has been on boom. Yes, pet care and animal health is on boom. Yes, I agree
Yeah.
with you. Health tech again is a trending thing. Cosmetics, also robotic procedures, nutraceuticals, and we have done very few, but yes, we have done alternative medicines also,
Yes.
alternative medicine studies as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, moving on. So quickly here, again, not going to going to go there in detail. Oncology, lung cancer is one of the prominent ones. At present, also we are doing a lung cancer study. We are doing a content analysis work for one of the biggest clients in the healthcare, one of the top 5 clients actually in the healthcare industry, or pharma industry rather, I would say. Ischemic health diseases and cardiovascular, we have done that. IgA nephropathy, we have recently done an APAC study. It just got completed. Moving on, continued on this page, we have done a lot of lifestyle related disease like diabetes and hypertension studies, which included medical devices, portable POC devices kind of studies also, and which included patient insights, doctor insights, and everything.
And also, we
Uh,
are conducted multiple study on product placement, where
yes,
we
product
are,
placement.
yeah, where we have give our products to consume respond patient to use and give their feedback for certain timeline
Yeah.
timeline.
Another thing which with product placement I realized that across the deck we have not spoken much about payer and providers at the US or the global level.
Mhm.
And yes, we have done those studies as
That
well.
is
We have payer studies, we have done competitive analysis studies, we have done across therapy areas. So I'll not go much into the detail. We have done these are the therapy areas or diseases areas basically. We have already done studies, in some cases more, in some cases less, but yes, we have covered them. And we do have, with this, we do
apart
have,
from Yes, apart from this, we also work on more projects in a rare disease also, like Parkinson, hemophilia, and
yeah,
other kind of.
which is kind of therapy across therapies, rare disease are across therapies. So yes, that is also an area. Smriti, let's move on. Okay, so here we have very specifically spoken about our network in India, but please believe us that we are a global firm. So the reason why we have spoken about Pan India is because we are India based. I'm with India headquartered, rather, I would say India headquartered company. So, we get a lot of studies in India, and you can see the numbers. We have general physician, 10,000 plus general physician, and consultants and all that. In within the surgery, we have 7,000 plus specialists, pharmacists. We have done so many pharmacist study. People might not believe that pharmacist studies are there, but we have done so many studies there. Nurses. So for nurses, I mean, peculiarly, if I say, we have done more global studies rather than India-based studies in terms of nurses. But yeah, we do have access to a nurses platform here as well. And let me add this here to everyone's knowledge that Octavus does not sublet the work to others. We are not in that business basically. We have our own panel basically. We have maintained that over the years, we have created that panel for us. And these are the people with whom we directly conduct these studies. So hence we control the quality. We have spoken about quality, code of conducts and everything multiple times. So I want to emphasize this here is the reason we can control the quality is because we have our own network. We do not rely on other people. And the best thing about us is that that is the reason we can do the studies in a lesser, turnaround time. We have very shorter turnaround time. The cost is also, very
Competitive.
decent. Yes, competitive and decent because we are not subletting, so we are not giving it to others. We directly have a connection with the doctor. We hire, we directly work with them. So there is no middleman costing involved. So obviously the overall costing would be lesser.
And also, I want to add one more thing, which make our panel different to other, that we quarterly or half yearly updating our panel list. Okay, we also check with the existing panel that whether what was there updating. Sometimes patients are we have to track the patients with if they have other comorbidities along with their existing disease. So we also update those things. Apart from that, we with the HCPs, we are keep updating their in which hospital they are right now are practicing. They are was it what their additional qualification. Sometimes doctors are keep updating their educations also. So yeah, we also tracking those things, which makes our panel up to date
and robust.
Yes.
And okay, Octavus also plans to, after this webinar, we will be sharing the recording. We will also be sharing our this deck basically as well with all the registrants and as well as the attendees. So with this, we will also share the panel book, the global panel book also with you, which will give you a greater idea, overall global idea basically of our network at the global level. So moving on, Smriti. Okay, so primary market research outreach across 25 markets exactly across 25 markets or geographies, you can say across 25 geographies we have conducted close to 1,000 plus studies.
Yes.
I think yeah, we are about either we are about to reach 1,000 or we have already covered.
We have already crossed, Himanshu.
Yeah, so these studies have been standalone R studies also, where we have done our own work. These studies include our partners as well. In some places, we have done work via our partners. In some studies, we have, I've already, Utsav spoke about that process basically. So, when we spoke, so in some studies, we have done recruitment. Somewhere we have done a report writing. So we have been involved in 1,000 plus studies across 25 geographies or markets.
Also, I want to add one more thing. If our partners conducting some of the study, we also ensure our team is also involved in that process to ensure the quality. So we also tracking the each and every respondent and data, monitoring each and every data to ensure the outcomes are totally ensure totally justify the quality.
Okay. So, Utsav, we have just 15 minutes, so let's pass on it. So, the exciting part, we have the case studies now. So, Utsav, you're going to take this one?
Let's do it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you and me.
Okay. I'll do that. So, this was a client, a telemedicine platform. They wanted to understand the patient satisfaction or for their long-term strategy and success, how to engage with the patient. They wanted to understand how patients are assessing their telemedicine platform. So we used the online survey methodology. We did the behavior analysis, and we also did focus group analysis.
So
Yes, sorry, please.
So in online surveys, we have covered almost 500 sample size across the India. And after this was the first phase study. In second phase study, we also reached out the respondent and global scale also. So here we are talking about the first phase. In first phase, we have conducted over a quantitative study over almost 500 sample size, and we conducted more than 10 focus group in different geography of India, where we inviting the users and also the potential user who are using other devices and tried and interested to jump interested to use an other kind of the application. So we have conducted both type of the focus group, and the feedback was very strategic to help client to plan their strategy for the further explanation and ensure manage their platform.
Awesome. Moving on.
Okay, so here we have another poll. So Utsav, can you read that out for me?
Okay, so here's the plan where we're talking about which are the aspect of primary market research hold the most value for your organization. First option is patient insights. Second is the competitive landscape. Third is the product development trends.
Okay,
And fourth is the target audience analysis.
okay, I'll just launch the poll. Okay, so audience, you have 30 seconds for the poll. So I request all to participate. Okay, so it seems like we have more weightage on competitive landscape and no, on patient insights.
Okay. Himanshu. Hello.
Yeah, let's wait for the poll to finish and then we'll move on.
Okay, so I think the audience is still voting. We have 80% on patient insights. Okay, the 30 seconds are over. Thank you, audience, for your participation.
Okay, moving on. Okay. So this was a study. This was a project where we did a marketing strategy. So we optimized the marketing strategy for a women health clinic. I'll not go in much detail. It was again a patient satisfaction and a patient retention where we did a market segmentation analysis where we conducted an in-depth analysis for the local demography. It was a global study. Then we did competitor analysis. We studied other women clinic also. We assessed their strength, weakness, SWOT analysis basically. And we also did a patient feedback survey. This helped our client basically to do their go-to-market strategy kind of a thing. I mean, in this case, obviously, it's not a go-to-market strategy. It's more of a how to or which key messaging basically they need to come up with and to attract more patients there. So resulting this all resulted in 32% growth overall, and in the patient numbers and the footfall of the patients. So in the clinic, so it was a great study, and the outcome was actually good. We have been working with this client for a very long time on different aspects. So yeah.
Yeah, and also that's the referral program which we have suggested to this client, which was a very effective for their clinic. So
yeah. There were a couple of recommendations from our side as well, which obviously was part of the study while doing the competitor analysis as well. Okay, moving on. Okay, Utsav, you want to take this?
Yeah. So this was the patient engagement for the healthcare wellness app. We have actually this was study was recently conducted in last year actually. The client was a very reputed mobile application, which is promoting healthcare and wellness application. In that study, we have conducted uh, our usership, basically the services we provide, distribute the active users a questionnaire to active shortlisted of active user, and distributed the online questionnaire to that to get their feedback on that. We also conducted the existing user focus group and gain their deeper advice and feedback about the agency project about the product. We are after implementing this suggestion, the engagement content customization of the app, because sometimes some respondent responded that the UX of application is not that user friendly. So we also give a feedback to our client to how they can improve their uh, user interface. So yeah.
So, yeah, this tells me one another, reminds me of one another project. I'll be very quick about it. Client wanted to assess a lot of competitors, and there was one question that what color suits on the application. It was a user interface, basically application study, and there was this question for the patients or for the normal people also, that which color would you choose, kind of, and they gave an option, and patient choose, respondent chose from there, and it was a great insight actually, and the client went with that. So it was a different product altogether. I think let's move on.
Okay,
Okay, so
so
there is another poll. Let me say it, Smriti. When it comes to primary market research, which area do you find most impactful for driving strategical decisions? Is it the patient behavior and preferences? Is it the market segmentation and targeting? Is it competitive intelligence and benchmarking? Or is it new product validation and ideation?
okay,
This is
so
kind of an
uh,
interesting poll. Smriti, good you have created this poll.
thank you, Manshu. Okay. Audience, I've launched the poll, and you have again have 30 seconds to cast your answers. Okay, so in this we have 100% answers for competitive intelligence and benchmarking. Okay. Some people have also voted for patient behavior and preferences. So Himanshu, what do you say on this?
I'm always, up for a competitive intelligence and benchmarking. I have been, you talk about the things you love basically. So I love CI and benchmarking. So that's that. But yes, I believe patient behavior and preferences is, I would say, equally important, if not more than equally important, because
After
whatever
all,
CI,
the patients are the individual,
yes,
Himanshu, and
yes,
their
yes,
their feedback is very
very
valuable.
important.
Yeah.
So, Smriti, let's move on.
Okay.
Okay, optimizing healthcare provider engagement. Again, this was an HCP survey study. We interviewed a lot of KOLs. We also did a lot of KOL interviews here. So we did a competitive analysis. It was a medical device company, and we did for them. We did this study for them basically. Uh, uh, it helped them. It helped them assess who all are the competitor and what strategy they should be, evolving. If I'm not wrong, Utsav, correct me on this. I think this was a APAC MENA study, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, this was the APEC MENA study, and also this was the very interesting part of this study was uh, client is physically showcasing their product to the doctors, not virtually. So that makes experience better.
But
And
our life miserable. Our
yes,
life. So for us, it was a difficult thing, but yes, obviously, in getting a key insight, and we are happy to always do that. So yeah, that was a yes. You're right. That was a great study. More question. Let's move on.
Okay. I have changed the slide. Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Okay. Then the content analysis and information analysis. Again, I was just talking about this NSCLC study. We are presently doing it. So we are involved in both the things. We are involved in the recruitment and moderating, as well as doing the content information analysis. So we did HCP surveys with medical oncologists, surgeon, physicians. Again, NSCLC patient. It's a global study. Mostly, there are respondents from APAC and MENA as well, but the most important, I think there is a mistake. No, it is written that it's a US study, but no, it is a global study. Most of the respondents are from US and Europe, but there are other locations as well. We did KOL interviews, in-depth interviews were conducted, we transcribed them, and then we did, a content analysis and information analysis also, and, workflow, getting out insights, top level, presentation. We are doing that as well for this. More, I will not be able to go in the detail for this study because it's an ongoing study right now. But yes, this was something what we are doing actually. Moving on. Okay, so market research and patient feedback assessment before, one second. Okay, yeah, this, I was actually involved in this one. So one of the investment bankers, you know, investment banking group basically wanted to invest in APAC specifically, and then they chose IVF and fertility clinic, and their primary interest was India. They have been, for a very long time, they have been doing Asia specific investment, but this time they wanted to enter the Indian market, and they reached out to us. This was actually both a secondary and a primary research study, but yeah, primary was more on in this. First, we did an identification analysis. We shortlisted to 10 IVF hospitals, rather, I would say clinic. And if we talk about clinic also, these were like polycenter clinic kind of. So we did a filtration, identification and filtration. We suggested them 10. We did KOL interviews. So these KOL interviews were across, not those specifically. So, let me just explain this one a little. So the selected 10 IVF clinics, we did interviews of other doctors who were not associated with those clinics, basically, to understand the reputation of those clinics. And what these gynecologists and these IVF doctors think about those 10 clinics or 10 hospitals. So we did that. Then we did a due diligence or a patient feedback study. So, initially I was talking about mystery shopping. So yeah, this was the study where we did a mystery shopping. Kind of, we went in person there to these clinics, and we spoke to a lot of patients. We gathered their feedback, about the doctor's behavior, the clinics, infrastructure, so and so forth, and their overall feedback also, and then what else they want from those clinics. We did an in-depth report analysis, secondary research, reputation analysis, a lot of patient and everything. We compiled and everything. We created an insight. We shortlisted to three. We suggested three, not shortlisted. We suggested 3 out of 10. Obviously, the final decision was of clients, and we're happy to say that after I think conducting this study for 6 months, and then client doing their deliberation for another 3 to 4 months. Finally, after I think 9 or 10 months, they invested in one of the 3 options what we suggested. So it was a really happy moment for us at that point of time that client went with our suggestion, and they're really happy. We have again, I'll tell you that this is one of the happy stories from our end, and we're still doing a lot of work for them, secondary work, primary work. We're going to talk about more. after this.
And also, Himanshu, apart from the patient feedback, we also spoke with some of the inside staff also.
Yes,
So
in-house
to
doctors.
understand the working flow.
Yeah, we went to talk to the doctors as well. We spoke to them. We understood about the methodology also, what they are doing. Like, example that are you freezing the ovums or you're using the live ones or all those procedures and everything. So yeah, moving on.
Okay, so we have another poll here.
So,
Himanshu, can
yeah, very important for us. Are you planning for any primary market research in your business unit or an organization? Your answer could be very definitive, yes, no. It could be a maybe. Or would you like to, talk to us or talk to anyone for that matter, explore and after discussion you want to do primary marketing. So please, Smriti, please launch the poll.
okay.
Yeah, poll is here. Please feel free to reply.
Because Himanshu, we have a customized methodologies also. It depends on the requirements of client, right?
Okay, so we have done with the poll. I think some people are still voting. So let's wait for another 5 seconds. Okay, now 100% people have answered. So let's end this poll. Okay.
Okay.
So we have
We
another poll.
Yes, we have another question. Which type of primary market research would benefit your organization? Obviously, you are the better judge of what businesses you are in. So obviously, would it be a product testing, a concept testing? Because if you are a service company, it could be a concept testing. Um, um, a qualitative analysis or a quantitative analysis, or you just want you could be a market research, a global market research company, or you just want us to do a content analysis work kind for you. So we can do that as well. So the poll is here. Please give in your answers.
Okay, so most of the people are with product testing and qualitative analysis.
Feel free to reach us. We do product testing and qualitative analysis.
Okay. Okay, so 100% people have answered. So let's end this poll. Okay, so it's time for the Q&A session. So Himanshu, can you take the questions from the people?
Yeah. Okay, so there was one question which I've answered via typing only. So the person anonymously asked that, whether you will be getting this PPT or not. So the answer is yes, you will be getting this PPT after the webinar. This webinar is recorded and it will be posted on YouTube as well. So you can go through that. You can listen to our commentary again. And it would be shared with you over the email as well to all the attendees as well as to all the registrants. And yeah, so that's that. So now moving on to a question which is open right now. How can we effectively engage and enroll patients while ensuring the utmost confidentiality of their information? So, good, really great question. I'll answer this question and maybe
So, Himanshu, I think as we are following the practice, we give a unique identity ID to each of every respondent to,
yeah.
to
So
show their in,
we are, yeah,
confidentiality.
we are in the IT world right now, or the cloud world right now, and there are solutions for everything, and we have developed these solutions. We create unique IDs, so we like any other clinical research kind of. So we randomize them, we double blind them. so that nobody knows. So that's also the the way we do the confidentiality. Apart from that, Utsav, during our our code of conduct part and ethics part, he mentioned that we follow different guidelines from ISOMAR and GDPR guidelines. So, and apart from that, we do not deal in patient data as such. So HIPAA compliances don't apply to us. But yeah, if in case that kind of a situation comes, we follow HIPAA compliance. We will follow HIPAA compliances or HIPAA guidelines. So I think we have tried to answer this question. Even and apart from that, if you have if you still want to talk to us, we'll be giving our email address after at the end. Also, you can connect with me or with me and Utsav on LinkedIn and ask your questions there as well. We'll be happy to answer. We'll be happy to engage over a call as well. So yeah. Now another question is how to apply for your organization. I am not sure what apply you are talking about. If you're talking about the job application, you can send in your CV on again our email addresses with Utsav and me, or you can send it to Smriti at connect to Smriti on connect@pharmashots.com. But if you're talking about the projects, again, we'll be happy to uh, you know get on a call. Again, you will have our email addresses, LinkedIn, so you can join us there, set up a call, and we'll be happy to talk to you. So thank you.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Himanshu and Utsav, for this insightful session. I hope our audience must have get some valuable insights. So thank you, audience, for engaging. And if you like to contact us, you can contact us on connect@pharmashots.com. And alternatively, if you wish to connect with Utsav and Himanshu directly, email addresses are here. Thank you. And please stay tuned for the upcoming webinars from PharmaShots. Thank you
and
and have a nice day.
yeah, one more thing at the end. Thank you, Smriti, for organizing this. And anyone who wants to conduct any webinars or such kind of things, contact Smriti. They have done a great job with us. Thank you. It was a great experience.
Thank you, Manju and Utsav, for joining. Thank you.